What's up guys, it's finally here, the Weped SS, my favorite cyberpunk cruiser of 2020. In this video, I'm going to tell you why I love this polarizing massive electric scooter so much. Subscribe and let's ride.
So the Weped SS is one of the fastest and best built scooters I've ever seen. It's among my top choices for a scooter in 2020, and I'm going to tell you why, but let's first get into some of the features. We'll start with the handlebars. It's got a pretty nice and wide handlebar setup. It should be easy to swap for another set if you wanted to. It's got standard grips at either end, and they're pretty comfortable as well. The left side of the handlebars sport an impressive array of buttons. First is this pretty cool three-way switch, which dictates the speed mode. You can set it to 1, 2, or 3. These modes are no joke, and mode 1 alone will get you to a top speed of about 45 miles per hour. Mode 3 is absolutely insane. The Corsa button limits speed, similar to an Eco Turbo button on other scooters. So with it, I suppose you have about 6 different possible modes, but what's the point of a beast like this if you aren't riding it with maxed out settings always? This is the cruise control button. You can press this button for the scooter to maintain speed. I don't use this feature a whole lot, but it's much nicer having a button compared to some scooters where you have to hold the throttle at the same speed for several seconds. Finally, this inner button controls the lights. If you're going to be buying this attention-grabbing scooter, I'm pretty sure you're always going to be rocking the lights. After all, the bright rainbow LEDs are the primary reason for purchasing this scooter for some. A fourth button doesn't seem to do anything yet, but you could always hook this up to your own headlights or other accessories. On the right side of the handlebars, you have some features such as the voltage meter, which displays the current voltage. There's no battery indicator, but since it's an 84 volt peak system, each volt under that is roughly 5% gone. It's easy enough to understand your battery level, and the scooter has a huge battery for plenty of range. Additionally, you have a key throttle, which is a nice touch. It's a tiny bit of anti-theft as well, as a thief couldn't just jump on it and ride away if the key is not in it. Both the key throttle and voltage meter look like fairly standard OEM parts that I've seen on other scooters, but they get the job done. Besides that, you have a thumb throttle, and it's kind of interesting to see the SS follow in the steps of the Rion to use a thumb throttle on a power scooter. Whether riding with a thumb throttle or finger throttle is better is debatable, but I enjoy riding with both. Besides that, you have the dual hydraulic brake levers with the electronic switch as well. The scooter seemed to brake quite quickly, though you definitely need to give yourself plenty of room to brake at the higher speeds. It's also a lot of fun to lock up the rear tire and do a little slide on it. Luckily, I'm just borrowing the scooter, so Brian, if you're watching, I'm sorry about the tire wear. Overall, it's a pretty nice set of handlebars. Personally, I'm planning on customizing my own with cameras, headlights, a cell phone mount, and all kinds of other things. I was a bit surprised there's no speedometer on the SS handlebars, but maybe that's something you could modify yourself. Moving on to the distinctive Weped stem, it's really nice how the SS ships with these LED side guards. 2 at the top and 2 at the bottom of the stem. Zip-tied wires run down the center of the open stem. Coming down to the huge Shinko racing car tires, look at the tread of this baby. It just looks mean and grips well. Turning is doable, but it doesn't feel as solid as turning on a more rounded tire. Check out what you can do with these super wide tires though.
Look at how wide the tires are. I can pretty much just stop here and balance for a long time. Pretty useful for stop signs and such because you can just stop, stay on the scooter, and you don't have to get your shoes dirty. It's great.
I've always been a fan of the Weped folding system. You just take this pin out and it folds nicely. I wouldn't call it compact or anything though, and you'd be lucky to get this into a smaller car. There's opposing rotors on the front and back with their Weped branded calipers. Take a look at this cap here. Now you might think it's a gas cap, but it's actually a cap for the charge port. Untwist and twist in the charger to charge the scooter. The 45 amp hour battery will take a long time to charge, maybe a full day or so. I do wish they would ship with a fast charger stock. The deck is massive, super comfortable for cruising, and much longer than the Dualtron X deck. This deck is huge and I love it. The entire deck is covered with grip tape, it's super grippy, and your feet aren't going anywhere. Impressive lights run down the side, and the logo lights up as well. In addition to the front suspension, there's a nice rear spring as well, along with a mud guard that you can use as a footrest. It's kind of interesting that the suspension causes the rear footrest to move. Not bad, but just something I noticed during riding. Overall, I find the suspension to do a fairly solid job at handling the bumps of the road. It's pretty stiff and super stable at speed. Definitely feels like more of a racing setup than something primarily geared for off-roading, but you can definitely do some trail riding with the scooter. A solid LED surrounds the footrest, and it lights up when you press the brake levers. Okay, so that's it about the physical features. Let's get into some of the riding aspects and performance details. One of the most interesting features to me is that this scooter is fully waterproofed. With the deeply treaded tires, riding in the rain should be no problem at all. But definitely be careful doing so, since it could be easy to lose control with how much power the scooter has. The battery is one of the largest I've ever tried. It's a whopping 72-volt system with 45 amp hours of capacity. It's using 21750E cells, which are among some of the best that you can get. At more than 3,200 watt hours, this beast can cruise for hours without charging. It's got much larger range than my Dualtron Thunder, and my guess is about 50 miles of fast cruising is totally doable, and much more at slower speeds. You won't have range anxiety with this scooter. For some reason, this scooter only shipped with a 1.5 amp charger. So on a 45 amp hour battery, I'm guessing it's going to be more than 24 hours to charge this beast up. Maybe that means for increased battery longevity, but hopefully you'll be able to purchase an upgraded fast charger. Peak power to the motors is about 10,000 watts. A massive amount of watts and nearly twice the power of my Dualtron Thunder. This impressive package can propel you to a stated top speed of 75 miles per hour. That's insane. 75 miles per hour on a scooter? Not many people are brave enough to attempt these kind of speeds. Are you? I haven't had the opportunity to max it out yet, but I'm planning on doing so someday. The scooter has so much power that most people just aren't able to control it when accelerating at max speed. You really have to finesse the throttle, and even then, the scooter just wants to rip out, so hang on. Here's some people trying to ride the Weped SS for the very first time.
Whoa, nah. That is very scary.
It's powerful.
Yeah, that might be too much.
Man, it just wants to rip out from under you.
Whoa.
Oh, look at him! Wow! Woo!
Amazing. It's amazing. It's crazy, right?
Yeah. I'm done. I'm done. This is too fast. This is way too fast, man. Yeah. Woo. Holy shit. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Now onto the elephant in the room, the weight. It's more than 100 pounds. I've never picked a scooter up, and I don't ever plan to if I can help it. I would definitely not want to have to carry this up or downstairs. At the price point of a motorcycle, it's a pretty niche scooter, but well worth the investment in my mind. It hasn't officially gone on sale yet, but from what I've heard, it's going to be around the $7,000 US mark shipped to you. Definitely not cheap, but one of the most fun ways you can spend your money for sure. You're also paying for quality. This scooter is built so well that I think it would be rare to have a problem with it. It's going to last a very long time. As for scooter comparisons, at the price point and class, there's only a few scooters that stand a chance. The only two in my mind being the Dualtron X and the Rion RE80. There is no doubt the Weped SS is much faster than the Dualtron X, sporting 3,000 more watts to the motors, along with a much longer and more comfortable deck. The Weped suspension isn't as forgiving as the Dualtron's, but it feels more stable at high speed to me. All this and the Weped comes in at a much lighter weight compared to the Dualtron X, likely due to the better build materials. Compared to the Rion, let's just say I'm super happy to see another manufacturer finally start really pushing performance other than Rion. If advertised watts are accurate, the Rion would still be much faster, but have less range than the Weped SS. Of course, the Rion weighs about half the weight of the Weped due to the lightness of carbon fiber. These two scooters are on opposing sides of the design spectrum, but both are awesome scooters in my mind. We've got a special Rion RE80 vs Weped SS video planned for the near future, so definitely stay tuned for that. That's all we got for this episode on my favorite cyberpunk electric cruiser of 2020. Lots more with the Weped SS is planned for this year. Please like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you all next time.